In the fall of 2019, Tony Stewart and Gene Haas told Daniel Suárez that he was not returning to the team in 2020, and Suárez was left without a ride for 2020. Now you all know how this went, but let me just give you a quick montage or quick history lesson, brief lesson on what happened in that time. So Suárez was offered two options. Basically, his only good option was to go back down to Xfinity Series and take over the 2 car because it was wide open. And since the Tyler Reddick won in the number 2 car, he won the Xfinity Series championship title with 5 wins to his credit, and got to move up to the Cup Series, replacing Daniel Hemrick in the 8 car. So that could have been Suárez's big break. But to Suárez's like perspective, understandability, he didn't want to go back down to Xfinity. And I bet you a lot of Cup drivers feel like that. Like same with like Matt Benedetto going back down to trucks. I'm sure he wanted to stay in Cup because he knew he could win, but he just kept getting in the ass every single weekend and week out, and was just never given a break. And so Daniel Suárez did not want to go back down to Xfinity, back down to the Xfinity Series, but this move could have killed Daniel Suárez's Cup career. It could have very well damaged it than it is right now, because the move he made to stay in Cup Series got him a full-time ride in the number 96 Gunn Brothers Racing Toyota Camry. Now you may be thinking, Daniel Suárez is back with Toyota. Toyota said they didn't want to let go of Daniel Suárez in the end of 2018 when Joe Gibbs was letting him go. Toyota fought to keep Daniel Suárez. Well, he reunited with them in 2020, but the team he was driving for, Gunn Brothers Racing, was far different than Joe Gibbs Racing. Was far, far different. Let me just tell you that. Gunn Brothers Racing, compared to Joe Gibbs Racing, has been around in the sport for only a few years compared to Joe Gibbs' 25-plus year history in the Cup Series. As you can see, Joe Gibbs started in the Cup Series in 1991, and Gunn Brothers Racing started in the Cup Series in 2017. And the drivers they selected to drive their cars, they had DJ Kennington, who was a great Pinty Series driver. He got to bring them to their first race. They had Jesse Little, Parker Kligerman, all respectable drivers. Well, I don't know what you could say about Jesse Little. I'm not sure if he's really a good driver, but Parker Kligerman's definitely a good driver, and he helped the team out a bit. But the move that Suárez made is that he went from a possible good Xfinity ride to a Cup team that runs basically top 30 every single weekend, or could barely keep into the top 30. But to Gunn Brothers Racing's credit, they're faster than Rick Ware Racing and those guys, so they're able to get top 30s week in and week out, unless they had stupid bull crap happening to them, like a crash that happens to them or something. Yeah. I will say this, that Daniel Suárez did have one bright spot in 2020, and that was at the Daytona race. Ironically, the same race he did not qualify for in the Daytona 500 because he crashed out. Yeah, that's crazy to think about. That's Suárez had his best race at Daytona, the track that he did not make it into the 500. And you guys are asking, like, wait a minute, why didn't Daniel Suárez make the Daytona 500? I thought he was good enough to make it in the 500. Well, there's a big difference. Gunn Brothers Racing does not have a charter, and a charter basically is something that helps you get into every race. You don't have to race your way in for. But also, it costs a lot of money. Let's just say that. Also, to Marty Gunn's point of view, I get that. Not all small teams who are like super small cannot afford charters. And if they do try to do that, it'll only mean bankruptcy, because they will basically like give up all the money they had and their team would be dead. So I can respect their decision right there. Daniel Suárez in the summer Daytona race, before being wrecked out with 2 to go in the race, led a total of 18 laps that race. He passed Kyle Busch to take the lead with help of Ty Dillon due to pit strategy and stuff, and Daniel Suárez was able to lead those many laps which is impressive because I don't think before a Cup Brothers Racing car ever led a single lap in the Cup Series. So yeah, that's crazy to think about. I even made a whole video on it. It's like the footage of them getting they're leading a lap in the Cup Series. I recommend checking it out. You might have to scroll down a little bit because it's from like a couple days ago, but I'm pretty sure you'll find it quickly. But let's get back onto the season. Also, his next bright spot, which wasn't as good as Daytona, like far from it, but he was able to climb inside the top 10 with an like pretty much unsponsored Toyota Camry. It was what was it? It's like the U.S. Olympics team sponsor. Like it was Gun Brothers Racing sponsor as well with I think Gun Brothers Racing sponsor was on the car and U.S. Olympics team, and he was able to get in the top 10 at one point and compete up there for a bit. Going back to Daytona, what if he missed that final crash with 2 to go? He would have been probably inside the top 10 because that took out a lot of cars. It took out Matt Kenseth, it took out Joey Logano, Jimmy Johnson, Payne. Still am pissed over that and heartbroken because he would have made it in for sure. Who else did it take out? Cole Custer. We'll get to Cole Custer in a second. Just don't worry. Don't worry. Yeah, it took out like 3, 4, 5 cars, and Suárez could have been competing for a top 10. And if he was lucky enough, maybe a top 5. But we never got to see that happen because when he tried to make a move down below, I'm assuming that he made it a little bit too late. He had nowhere to go. To his credit, Suárez has nowhere to go because Logano came right back into him. It also collected Tyler Reddick, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it did. It also Joey Logano, like since he was crashing, got into Suárez, and Suárez made a late left move, turn move, and bounced off of another car and hit right into Logano's door or something. Like poor Suárez had nowhere to go and could have had his best finish of the season as well as Gun Brothers Racing's best finish. So yeah, Suárez's 2020 season contained of this: 0 wins because of course it's Gun Brothers Racing, 0 top 5s, 0 top 10s unfortunately for poor Suárez. Also the year was fucked because of COVID, and that the whole year was just shit. So there was no practice and qualifying, which to the team's credit, like I know I said that for the millionth time, they were able to compete in all the races because they didn't have to race their way in. So Suárez got themselves lucky. They were able to make it in speed. Or that's not more than 40 cars try to attempt to make it into the race. But still, Suárez should be, I guess, fine with how he did at Daytona, the summer race. And that was his only bright spot outside of Talladega, the fall race of the season. Otherwise, he was running like 27th, 3 to 4 laps down every single weekend. And I'm pretty sure he finished in the top 30 range, unless if he was either blowing motors, blowing engines, just getting crashed, getting destroyed, his car's getting destroyed. Now let's talk about Cole Custer. So SHR put Cole Custer in the 41 in 2020. And Daniel Suárez's 2019 season, from my eyes, had this: 4 top 5s and 5 top 10s, and he barely made the chase. That could have saved Suárez's chance with SHR, but he lost out to Ryan Newman for the last final spot at Indianapolis, the regular season finale. Don't remember who won the regular season finale because let's be honest, 2019 was just, excuse me, I had to burp there. Again, sorry. I had pizza just a few minutes ago. Like 10 minutes ago. The whole 2019 season was just trash. I'm just gonna be honest. But, not being biased, but I'm just saying it was not really that good. And to defend my statement, the racing sucked ass. Jeez. But, not anywhere else but on the super speedways, it sucked. I can guarantee you that. So yeah. So Cole Custer, one of the top 3 biggest drivers in Xfinity, alongside Christopher Bell and Tyler Reddick, who was also moving up in the Cup Series. We already discussed about Tyler Reddick moving up into the Cup Series, driving the 8 car full time at 2020, replacing Daniel Hemrick, who he went down to the part-time run for JRM and nearly won a race at Kansas in the fall 2020 race. So Cole Custer jumped into that car and immediately he was not doing good. Now, before he got that win at Kentucky, he was 24th in points. And to Custer's defense, yes, he was a rookie. It'll get some time taken and hopefully to be used wisely. And let's be honest, in the last 6 seasons, Stewart-Haas Racing legitimately had like 4 bad seasons. 2017, like during the last 5 years. 2017, I don't know what you can make of it. They got Curtis to win the 500 Kurt Busch, and then Harvick won like 2 to 3 races, and that was it. They didn't win jack squat other than Harvick and Kurt. You had Clint Boyer, who joined the team, didn't do so good, and then you had Danica Patrick, which was no surprise, not competitive at all. But to her credit, she was good at Kansas till Logano blew a tire and took her straight out in 2017. 2018 was probably their best season because all their 4 cars, Clint Boyer won a race, Eric Almirola won a race, Curtis won a race. Clint Boyer won just more than 1 race. He won 2 races, and Harvick won like 7 to 8 races that year. 2018, which we're talking about purposely in this video, they only had 3 wins with Kevin Harvick. Yes, yes, Almirola and Boyer made the chase, but they got eliminated in the round of 12, and Suarez almost made the chase. And then we get to 2020, where Harvick had the best season of his career, but once again, just like Matt Benedetto getting forced down to the Truck Series, he was in the ass of getting into the Final 4. And Custer was the only other Stewart-Haas Racing driver to win. Now, let's say if he didn't win at Kentucky. Yes, he would have had a top 5. He's had 2 top 5s that season. Not bad for a rookie season. I guess got a win, got made in the chase, but was unsurprisingly eliminated in the first round, because that would have been shocking if he made it past, because, you know, he wasn't on speed. But 2021 was just a shitty garbage year. Yes, Stewart-Haas Racing was down that year. Harvick couldn't even win a race for them, for God's sake. But Custer was 27th in points. Are you kidding me? Only had like 1 top 10. And this year's not even better. Yes, he has 2 top 10s, but think of this. Daniel Suárez in 2019 had 4 top 5s. And Custer had only 2 top 5s in 3 seasons and has not scored a single top 5 since 2020, his Kentucky win. That is bad. Even with the next gen car, Cole Custer is still hot garbage. Yes, he's competitive at times, like he had some good runs at Charlotte most notably, but got racked out. He's the same particular place with Danica Patrick, but unlike Danica, at least he was a winner. But still, man, oh, that just hurts. So, Cole Custer, let's take a look at his Cup career. And Bell actually pretty much did better in 2021, adjusting to his new ride faster than Cole Custer has on his sophomore season. Yikes. And Bell just came off his time with Levine Family Racing. Since they got shut down, yeah, that's insane. That is crazy to think about. Also in 2020, I forgot to mention this earlier in the beginning of the video, it was a crazy year for a lot of drivers. Stenhouse also moved from Roush, which sucked, to, at the time, without Newman, to JTD Doherty Racing. And let's be honest, he did outperform Ryan Newman and Chris Buescher at times, but only because Ryan Newman, unfortunately, sadly, crashed in that Daytona 500 race. God bless him for surviving that crash. I wish he could have gotten 1 more Cup win. That one still hurts. But, yeah. Just, like, seriously. Was it really worth giving up Suarez for Cole Custer? Stewart-Haas, Gene Haas, Tony Stewart, was it worth doing that? Because let's say if Cole Custer didn't win that Kentucky race, this dude would be forgotten. He already is forgotten, but he wouldn't be talked about as a Cup Series winner, getting one before Tyler Reddick and Christopher Bell. He wouldn't be talked about as one. He wouldn't be. He probably, if he didn't get that win in 2020, he would have been out the door probably the next year or something, or 2022 to give him another chance. But this year he sucks just as much as 2020 and 2021. So just because of that, hiring Cole Custer, yes, he did get a win once yet again. I know to Cole's defense, he did get that win with an impressive 4-wide pass. Probably the only decent highlight of Cole Custer's career is that move, and for the win. Other than that, it's trash. Just light it up, put it in the dumpster fire, and just walk away. Because, man, his Cup Series career has been abysmal, man. And Suárez, basically, his 2020 season was over because, yes, Cole Custer did show some promise in Xfinity, came runner-up to Tyler Reddick, but my God, he was terrible. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. So that's the video of the time Daniel Suárez returned unexpectedly to Toyota in 2020, which they weren't even expecting. And that's how he's performed better at Stewart-Haas Racing despite not winning a race compared to Cole Custer having more top 5s and maybe the same amount as top 10s that Cole Custer has gotten in the last 3 fucking seasons slash in the last 2 years. That's just freaking funny right there, man. It looks like their move didn't work out at all. Because, man, Chase Briscoe in his sophomore season, even though Stewart-Haas Racing sucks ass, was able to get them a win, but Custer couldn't do that in 2021. Jeez, what's the next gen car or something? I don't know. But anyways, that's going to end off this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. Comment down below what you think about this story. Was it a good video? Was it not? And I'll see you next time. Peace out.